5 pro tips for having a healthy long distance relationship. Hey guys, my name is Danny and I'm one of the head coaches here at the Happily Committed Project. If this is your first time visiting the channel, then welcome. Make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button so that you can become part of the community and get alerted anytime we have new content on the channel, which is quite frequently. If you have already been part of the community, then welcome back. I wanted to talk about long distance relationships today. And the reason for why is because I actually had a client session yesterday that was a long distance relationship, and they were struggling to be able to maintain balance in regards to having their own life and making sure that they were prioritizing each other enough so that they felt good and they felt needed and desired and wanted and all of those things that we all want within a relationship. And the thing is, it can be a little bit more complex when you're long distance, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It's a mindset. It's your perception. It's how you show up in the relationship and the energy in which you invest. So the thing that we worked on yesterday with my clients was really understanding the fundamentals of a long distance relationship and how to keep it new, exciting, how to prioritize their time so that they felt like they were prioritizing each other, because that can be incredibly difficult when you're leading two completely different lives and you're geographically at a distance. So I wanted to give you guys 5 tips on how to have and maintain a healthy long distance relationship. Look, we live in the technology age, right? Where it's so much easier now to be able to communicate faster, to do video calls, to have interactive communication with your partner. So essentially, it is easier to have a long distance relationship, but it's kind of a double-edged sword as well. Because we have technology at our fingertips, sometimes we expect our partners to respond right away. Instant gratification, wanting to know, feel acknowledged, validated in the moment. And that's not necessarily always possible. That's not realistic. So understanding what is realistic and unrealistic, what's feasible and what is not feasible, right? So the first thing is, when you get into a long distance relationship, it's very important to have similar goals, similar desires. What is it that you are looking for in a relationship? Have you discussed your needs and expectations? Have you discussed what the structure of the relationship will look like? Now, look, I get it. When you first get into a relationship, you don't want to jump right into, when do you want to get married? When do you want to have kids? When are we getting the white picket fence and the dog? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that as the relationship progresses and you start to realize that this is somebody that you want to commit to, it's very important to be very clear on what the structure of that relationship is going to look like if it is going to be long distance. So for example, maybe you have a conversation around how often you guys will be visiting one another, what the balance will look like. Maybe you go out one month and they come out the next month, or maybe you see each other bi-monthly, or maybe every 2 months, every 3 months. Whatever works best for you guys and your schedule is very important that we communicate those things so things aren't just kind of left in the air and it feels like you're not really sure how to navigate, and then you feel that you're putting in all the effort to see this individual and they're not reciprocating that energy. So just putting everything out on the table is very important. And then as the relationship progresses and things start to become more serious and you've committed and you're wanting to move to the next phase, having a clear understanding of when you plan on trying to move geographically closer to one another. Is that in a year's time? Is that in 6 months' time? Is that in 2 years' time? And what is that plan moving forward? It just eliminates the gray zone, which is something that you do not want when you are in a long distance relationship. Because look, it's already difficult enough when you have to go away from that person and there is that kind of physical void that's missing. Especially if your love language is physical touch. That can be incredibly difficult. So what structures do you have in place? What goals do you have in place to reassure you that things are going to continue to progress and move forward? The second thing here is quality communication. The mistake that I see happen all the time in long distance relationships is that we want to talk to each other day in, day out, all the time, always texting each other, always sending memes, always trying to be on the phone with that person. And to be honest with you, that can come off as being a little bit needy and clingy. In the beginning, it's probably something that organically and naturally happens because you want to communicate with that person. You want to be around that person all the time. You want to prove to them that you are serious about this relationship, even though you guys are at a distance. But it's very important to take into consideration the need for quality conversation and communication rather than quantity conversation and communication. Because if you're just focused on quantity, over time, the substance of the conversation will diminish. And then you'll only be talking about very surface stuff. What'd you do today? What'd you eat? How was lunch? Any issues with work? How's the family? What do you have planned for the weekend? And it just kind of becomes this routine, monotonous cycle of questions that we ask over and over and over again, and we start to lose that spark and that connection. So that actually segues me into the third tip, which is schedule your calls. Now, that does not mean that you can't text this person randomly throughout the day or throughout the week. If you're scheduled to talk to them on a Wednesday, you can't talk to them Monday and Tuesday. No, that's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is reserve a lot of the exciting things and the fun stuff that you've done for that conversation on Wednesday and try to make it a video call. Try to do something where you're actually able to look at this person in the eyes and have a good conversation, be present with them, and see their facial expressions and all of that, because that really does wonders when you're in a long distance relationship instead of just audio calls. Maybe you schedule a movie night with this person where you both sit on Zoom or Skype or Discord or whatever it is that you utilize to watch a movie together, and then you can have a conversation about the movie afterwards. All I'm saying is reserve some time during the week where you can sit and really just be present with this person. If you're texting throughout the day and you're having these types of conversations, you can have a ton of different pop-ups and screens open on your phone. So you can be texting your significant other and then switch right back to Instagram and keep scrolling through your feed or whatever. So you're kind of distracted in that moment. So to give yourself more quality time with your partner, you're reserving that time, that space for the two of you where there are no distractions. And I'm telling you, it will do wonders. Tip number 4, when you do go to visit your partner or they come to visit you, make sure you're not over planning. And I get it. There's excitement. You're happy that you get to see them. You have all these plans of what you want to do. But if you overdo it and you have this itinerary planned day to day, day in, day out, essentially what you're doing is you're draining each other of your energy and you're just going to be kind of and blah. Sure, you can have fun moments. Sure, you can go to a museum or you can go to, an amusement park, or you can go down to the river, or you can go paddleboarding, or whatever it is that you want to do. But make sure that it's not, okay, at 10 o'clock, we're going to go paddleboarding. And then at 12 o'clock, we're going to do lunch. And then at 2 o'clock, we have the art museum. And then at 4 o'clock, we have the Broadway. Like, it's too much. You want to just enjoy the time with this person. And sometimes spending quality time with somebody is just sitting on the couch watching Netflix and cuddling with one another. That can be just as impactful as having all these new experiences and doing all these things. So make sure you're balancing it. Because the last thing that I want for you guys to do is to finally be able to hang around each other, but you're not even fully present with one another because there's this itemized list of things that you have to get done. Just be present. Be mindful. Enjoy the time, go with the flow, relax, have a lazy day, spend the day in bed, order in, watch movies. That is also what helps to bond you because you're able to be intimate, you're able to be close to one another, you're able to really just kind of relax and just be present in that moment. And the fifth thing is you want to live your life. When you're not around this person and when you are back in your day-to-day, live your life, do things, maintain your routine, right? So if you're somebody who likes to focus on nutrition and your body and all these types of things, keep those routines going. but also try to trickle in new things to do so that you can have exciting things to talk about. You can have things to share with your partner about this new experience that you had. And if you're excited about it, they're going to get excited about it because your energy is going to be totally different when you show up to that conversation. If you're just doing the same thing day in and day out, week after week after week after week, those conversations are going to be kind of boring because what do you really have to talk about? What do you really have to share with this person? Having that sense of adventure, living your life, doing your thing, going out with friends, having new experiences doesn't mean that you're ignoring your partner. It means that you're actually fueling and feeding your own soul so that you can show up to the relationship better, more committed, excited, and contribute that positive energy, which is necessary in order for you guys to maintain the relationship long term. If you enjoyed those 5 tips, which I hope you did, please make sure you leave a comment down below. Even if you didn't like them, or if you have questions, or if you wanted to add something, leave your comments down below. I love to interact with you guys in the comment box. Obviously, I say this time and time again, it is your channel. We created this community for you, so your words and your thoughts matter. I read them. I try to respond to as many as I can, and I utilize a lot of what you guys say to create content for you guys. If you just want to know more, you can visit us at www.happilycommitted.com, where we have articles and blogs and videos at your fingertips. And if you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session because you're struggling in this long distance relationship, you're trying to figure out how to apply the tips that I've given you. Maybe you've tried some of them and they're not working and you need to find a different angle. I am more than happy to support you through that process. One of the major issues within relationships, especially long distance relationships, is communication. And if that is something you are struggling with, I'm going to provide a link for you in the description box down below for my communication product, which will help you exponentially in learning how to build a connection with your partner communication wise, so you feel solid in the foundation of that relationship. I will also provide you with a link to the coaching section of our website. So if you want to book, you just have to click on that link and it'll take you directly to that page. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.